Can people really see the future? Receive messages from across time and space? For centuries, seers and prophets have come forward, offering dramatic visions of mankind's destiny. But what happens when the predictions turn deadly? Well, that's what we will try and find out. Paris, France, 1555. Astrologer and physician Michel de Nostredame publishes a volume of 4-line poems called Quatrains. Many believed Nostradamus is a fraud or mentally ill, possibly both. Readers at that time were confused by the author's use of multiple languages and word puzzles. But perhaps even more baffling is the volume's title, The Prophecies. Well, in this video, we will talk about 5 famous predictions by Nostradamus that some people say foresaw the future. Number 5. Well, everyone knows about one of the most powerful and notorious dictators of the 20th century, Adolf Hitler, the leader of Germany's Nazi Party. 300 years ago, before Hitler was born, Nostradamus predicted his reign of terror. According to his prophecy,
from the depths of the west of Europe, a young child will be born of poor people. He who by his tongue will seduce a great true. His fame will increase towards the realm of the east. Also, beasts ferocious with hunger will cross the rivers. Greater part of the battlefield will be against Hitler. Into a cage of iron will the great one be drawn, when the child of Germany observes nothing.
What happened? On April 20, 1889, Adolf Hitler was born in Austria, which is in Western Europe. But his family was middle class, not impoverished. Hitler did rise to power in part due to his oratory abilities, by his tongue will seduce, and did initiate World War II, a great coup, by invading Poland. His fame will increase towards the realm of the East. The Axis alliance with Japan in the East. The German army invading France, beasts ferocious with hunger will cross the rivers, and the greater battlefield refers to the Allied powers defeating Hitler. Some Nostradamus supporters have posited that Hitler is a misspelling of Hitler, but it's actually the Latin term for the Danube. Number 4. Death of Henry II. Henry II was King of France from 31 March 1547 until his death in 1559. His death was also predicted by Nostradamus. According to his prophecy,
on the field of combat in a single battle, he will pierce his eyes through a golden cage. 2 wounds made one, then he dies a cruel death.
What happened? In the summer of 1559, King Henry II of France, older one, lined up to joust Gabriel, Comte de Montgomery, young lion, who was 6 years his junior. The tournament was held to celebrate the upcoming wedding of the king's daughter. In their final pass, Montgomery's lance tilted up, burst through the king's polycicute visor, pierced his eyes through a golden cage, and splintered. Splinters from the lance had entered the king's eye, throat, and temple. 2 wounds made one. Despite the best efforts of royal surgeons, Henry II experienced agonizing pain, seizures, and partial paralysis. Then he dies a cruel death in his bed 11 days later. Number 3. The bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. On August 6, 1945, the United States dropped an atomic bomb on the island of Japan. The bomb exploded with about 13 kilotons of force. This tragic event was predicted by Nostradamus centuries ago. According to his prophecy,
near the gates and within 2 cities, there will be scourges the like of which was never seen, famine within plague, people put out by steel, crying to the great immortal God for relief. What
happened? In early August 1945, the United States dropped 2 atomic weapons on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, within 2 cities. The cities were devastated, and many survivors of the blast suffered from radiation poisoning, crying to the great immortal God for relief. In the wake of the war, Japan also went through a food shortage crisis, famine within plague. Number 2. September 11, 2001. The World Trade Center towers were destroyed when 2 hijacked commercial airliners crashed into each tower. Both towers later collapsed, killing thousands. This devastating incident was foreseen by Nostradamus. According to his prophecy,
2 steel birds will fall from the sky on the metropolis. The sky will burn at 45 degrees latitude. Fire approaches the great new city. Immediately a huge, scattered flame leaps up.
What happened? On the morning of September 11, 2001, hijacked planes, 2 steel birds, crashed into the 2 towers of the World Trade Center in New York City, the metropolis. 45 degrees is a reference to New York City's proximity, that lies at about 45th latitude. Burning buildings created huge fire clouds towards the sky, scattered flame. Number 1. Idukki Dam. The Idukki Dam is a double curvature arch dam, constructed between 2 granite hills in Kerala, India. At 168.91 meters, it is one of the highest arch dams in Asia. People who propagate the predictions of Nostradamus claims that the 16th century seer had foreseen the collapse of the dam. According to his prophecy,
earth-shaking fire from the center of the earth will cause tremors around the new city. Two great rocks will war for a long time, then Arethusa will redden a new river.
what will happen? As per these believers, Nostradamus predicted an earthquake that could hit Kerala in 2020, which would result in the collapse of the mighty dam. This chaos will wipe out Kochi city, the new city. Two great rocks is a reference to the two granite hills, which holds the dam. This disaster would result in a new river made of blood, redden a new river, as this event may kill 50 lakh people. Nostradamus' prophecies are not clearly decoded yet. There are many versions and translators for his book. There are translators who add their own attitude in the translations. I personally have encountered many faults. Some say that there is nothing mentioned about India or Kerala, or the dam specifically. Some say Nostradamus has mentioned about a water bomb catastrophe. When netizens heard about this, they led the prediction towards Mullaperiyar Dam, as it was the oldest dam. But believers say he mentioned the event occurs between two mountains, which clearly points out the Idukki Dam. The predicted days July 6, 7 and 8 were just false rumors because none of his supporters could pinpoint the calamity to be happened in a year, at least before a month of it. Rather, they always try to connect after the calamity has happened. So, will the dam collapse? Will the prediction come true? Let's hope not. For more videos, make sure to subscribe and turn on notification so you won't miss upcoming videos in this channel. Thanks for watching.